Amongst the developing world, Thailand is one of the few nations that have come out with a formidable economy. It has evolved itself through a myriad of industries, ranging from its automotive sector to tourism to agriculture and even its electrical and electronic sector, which contributes a huge sum amount to its overall economic production. These have all held the nation to become a properly managed economy. Its exports have gone from nothing in the past decades to amounting to over $200 billion or more, and its tourism has also been a huge economic driver, which produces over $80 billion worth of annual revenue. These are just among the many more out there that have made the entire financial well-being of the nation of Thailand as one of the best in Asia. We should then expect that its national debt would be significantly low, or at least something that is not a threat to the overall economic stability of Thailand, as it holds numerous money-generating schemes around the country. That, however, is not true, even for Thailand. The recent financial crisis, the ongoing recessions of numerous countries around the world, and the sudden spikes led by the inflation crisis, this has pushed the world economy, and especially Thailand, to falter. The Southeast Asian nation is very reliant on its international friends. If they cease to exist or are limited, it will definitely hurt the economy. There are numerous multinational companies stationed in Thailand. The need for exports from Thailand has also been a big driver, and most importantly, its tourism industry is flowed by international tourists. With such overwhelming problems, their government did not want to see these very industries disappear, so the country turned to the use of debt. They went on to finance its myriad of industries, business to business, and even its people, so they would not experience financial troubles or, even worse cases, bankruptcy. According to Thailand's Ministry of Finance, this debt that we so-called is estimated to be over 260 billion United States dollars, or around 9.6 trillion Thailand baht as of the second half of 2022. This figure has ballooned over the past years. 5 years ago, in 2017, it was estimated to be just around 6.1 trillion baht, or 173 billion US dollars. Although some may claim that it is normal for a country's debt to go up. Indeed, it is normal. It is a fundamental instrument in driving economic growth and is commonly known to go up as the economy of a country also picks up. But the problem here lies within the ratio of Thailand's debt compared to the economy as estimated by its gross domestic product. The debt to GDP of Thailand has gone up significantly more than the historical average of the country. In 2017, the debt compared to its economy or gross domestic product is estimated to be just around 40%. But by the end of 2020, they have predicted that it will go up to 62.7%. Unfortunately, this is quite a huge number, especially when we compare it to the history of where Thailand stood. Data that stretches from 1997 to 2020 shows that Thailand's median debt to gross domestic product ratio sits just around 25%, significantly less than where we are today. Furthermore, before the 21st century, the country has even fewer debt ratios, which is estimated to be just less than 15% when compared to Thailand's annual gross domestic product. But even if debt may come as a threat to an economy, we should not forget that debt is still an instrument necessary to fuel growth or, at least, maintain stability. But before we go there, we must first understand what this debt is composed of and what are the key factors that are dragging it around. The public debt of Thailand sits at around 9.6 trillion baht. The majority of it is composed of the government debt, comprising around 88% of the entire figure, leaving the other 12% to be diversified across numerous government initiatives. The entire government debt, however, is quite a large figure as we noted earlier. Although it is presented as such, it is actually dominated by domestic debt, meaning loaned from inside the national borders and not from foreign entities like China. The government debt is estimated to have 8.5 trillion baht, but 7.7 trillion of this comes directly from domestic debt and the rest from foreign. What this can tell us is that although Thailand has indeed a huge debt figure, all of these are actually not that bad as it mostly comes from domestic means. This is because it has been proven numerous times in many countries that domestic debt poses little danger to an economy compared to foreign debt. A key example is the likes of Japan, a nation with a 250% debt to GDP ratio, a huge debt, one that has been notorious for stagnating the country's economic growth. But at the very least, it did not cause the country to experience an economic collapse. This is because most of Japan's debt is domestic debt, either from government loans, government bonds, and so on. Why is domestic debt better on the other hand? Because, unlike foreign debt, which is often treated as an asset, domestic debt is less likely treated as such, due to the fact that the society owes a domestic debt means they just owe the debt to themselves. Furthermore, foreign debt has also been found to contribute to some of the world's worst economic crises, from the Asian financial crisis to the Eurozone debt crisis. This can then again tell us that while Thailand has a big debt, it is not all that bad. It comprises little foreign debt and would be less likely to be a threat to the economy. Furthermore, a 62.7% estimation is still far less than the 70% ceiling, and government leaders have said it won't even reach this point, as the coming years of prosperity will enable the country of Thailand to lower its overall national debt ratio. Now comes the second question. What are the key factors that pushed Thailand's public debt to rise? Well, we can first attribute it to the economic crisis, but that, on the other hand, is just one part of many. Thailand's debt has significantly risen even prior to the pandemic. This is due to many factors, one of which is the recent ambitious plans to drive the entire economy forward. What we mean is that the government has put in place many mega projects in the past few years. The first big ones were the result of investments of over 2.6 trillion baht in 178 projects, ranging from transportation to energy and utilities, a timeline that went from 2015 to 2021. Further spending will even be seen from 2022 to 2026, when the government has allocated 840 billion baht for further projects. These have resulted in famous mega initiatives that locals have or have not heard of. These are also not the only initiatives brought up that have increased government debt. Many more out there that the government has laid out years or decade-long plans to ensure the viability and growth of the overall Thailand economy. Now, these are, again, just one of many opinions. Thailand's debt goes up for many reasons, but one of the biggest, as we saw recently, was fairly due to a big investment in the economy. The plans to lower this huge debt, however, is a difficult question to answer. What the government said about how they expected to go down is due to the fact that the world's economies are now slowly opening up. The tourism sector, which is fairly going to experience a big boost in the coming years, is going to be a leading figure in generating revenues for the government and increasing the national gross domestic product of Thailand. With more revenues and an increasing economic level, it would lower the ratio and even possibly lower the government deficit, which has been running for quite some time now. Moreover, the big-ticket project investments that Thailand has constructed recently will also see a huge boost.